Pascal Siakam is the definition of a player catapulting themselves into being one of the better players in the NBA based solely off work ethic. Believe it or not, back in the 2016 season, Pascal averaged 4 points per game and 3 rebounds. In this previous season, averaged 21, 7, and 5. Now, there is this narrative going around that Pascal simply is not a number one option and that he had a bit of a fall-off season for the Toronto Raptors, which in my opinion is completely false because if you look at the numbers, they're pretty much identical to his All-Star season. Now, with that being said, there is some speculation out there that the Raptors might be looking to go in a different direction as they do have that number 4 pick in the draft, so maybe they want to go into a mini-term type of rebuild. There's been some trade proposals out there, the recent one being with the Golden State Warriors, which sends Pascal over to join up with the Splash Brothers. Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to be talking about the potential blockbuster trade that's gaining a lot of steam between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors. So before we get going on today's video, man, we gained 300 brand new subscribers yesterday, guys. So close to 300k subscribers, guys. Do not let down, man, whatsoever. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, man, the goal for the video is always 1,000 likes. If you guys don't mind showing that crispy support by dropping that like on the video, greatly appreciated. Okay, so let me just get into this. Okay, let me just say real quick here before we start talking about this trade at all, that Toronto, I am on your side when it comes to Pascal Siakam. We're going to talk more about that in 1 second. But the trade being proposed up is the Warriors will use the number 7 pick and James Wiseman to immediately upgrade the roster, and the name to watch for is Pascal Siakam of the Toronto Raptors. This is via The Athletic and some other sources out there. But all right, man. So real quick here, let's talk about Pascal because I think it's extremely important to mention this. So there is like some narrative going out there right now that Pascal had like some really bad season. If you look at the stats, his stats compared to his All-Star season the previous year, they're identical, man. The scoring's pretty much the same. The playmaking's the same. The rebounding's the same. The only stat that's different is that as opposed to shooting 36% from 3, he shot 30% on less attempts. So, you know, he shot a few less, made a few less, adjusted his game, right, man? Well, actually, it was 29.7%, but the haters will say that's basically like 15% at that point, right, man? So, no, when it comes down to it, Pascal, yes, we understand to start the season, he missed some clutch shots, not the most clutchest guy out there, but stat line-wise, he's still an all-star level type of power forward, right? So, I think it's important to know, he did not really have like this big like fall-off season that people are trying to make it to be. He had a really solid season, especially given the circumstances of not only the team being affected by COVID and chemistry issues because of that, but also not being able to play on their actual home court. I think that's kind of something important, especially when shooting the damn 3-ball, bro. You ever shoot a damn 3-pointer at your own like crib and stuff like that as opposed to going to like some place you've never really been at before? It's damn night and day, guys. It's damn Steph Curry, Ben Simmons type of level stuff right there, at least for me personally. I typically lead towards Ben Simmons anyway, so for me it's more like Ben Simmons or like insert bad 3-point shooter here, man. Whoever you want, man. Let me know in the comment section below. But alrighty, so Pascal to the Warriors. Why exactly do the Golden State Warriors do this? They already have Draymond Green, so it's like they also have Andrew Wiggins at the 3 spot. So how exactly does Pascal fit into this team? Well, he actually did play some center for the Toronto Raptors. Me personally, I'm not like a huge fan of Pascal at the center spot. But on the Warriors, I actually think it does make some sense. Because for one, they do have Draymond Green at the power forward spot who can play defense on pretty much any player in the NBA. So defensively, you know, you make the switches based off of that. But also, you know, Pascal typically can shoot the 3-ball. He's typically around 36% from 3. So, I mean, by having the Splash Brothers out there, he's not going to be like the focus point of double team. So he's going to allow a lot more wide open opportunities, be able to space out that center position. But also just looking at the Warriors in general, like the success that they have had, you know, has been running guys like Andrew Bogut, JaVale McGee, Kevon Looney. They never really had like an all-star caliber guy at the center position. James Wiseman simply does not really fit their timeline. So the potential of seeing what Pascal can do there with his ball handling abilities and stuff too, I think is actually really intriguing, man. So I think it's definitely a really good move for the Warriors. James Wiseman very well can end up being a beast. He can end up being that next like DeAndre Ayton type of center. But at the same time, the Warriors, you know, you got Clay with the injuries. We don't know how he's going to be. You have Steph Curry kind of sort of getting up there in age, although with his 3-point shot, he could probably play until he's 60 and still be the best shooter in the NBA. But regardless, you don't really like want to have to like wait on a guy like James Wiseman where you can trade him and get more of a sure thing right now. You definitely want to strike while the iron's hot, and you want to go for more championships, right, man? So That's kind of one interesting thing about the Warriors and them getting like these high draft picks over the past few seasons is that none of these guys, like rebuilding teams would kill for these picks. But as far as like the Warriors go, it's like, I mean, yeah, like they'll be nice, but they don't really fit our timeline. So yeah, I think Pascal would be a really solid addition to the team. Now, why do the Raptors do this trade exactly, right? Well, I think for one, like I said, Pascal's great and everything, but having the opportunity to get like a generational type of big man in Wiseman, he really could very well be that. We don't really know. I mean, he was a top 2 pick for a reason, right, man? I think it's kind of interesting, but also being able to like add on that draft pick, it allows them to maybe go for a guy and take a little bit of a risk with that number 7 pick, as far as drafting somebody that has like that great potential, but might need a little bit more work. The Raptors in this case, they can still be extremely competitive, but also, kind of like work on one of those more projects. They have more time to do so. Because based off of like my mock draft, assuming they do this trade, you're looking at a lineup of Jalen Suggs, Fred VanVleet, OG, Boucher probably at the power forward spot, and James Wiseman at the 5. To me, that's a fantastic young lineup right there. It's a lineup that's going to compete. But then as far as like the bench goes, or I guess that 7th pick goes, because they'll be coming off the bench probably, I think the ideal situation would be going for like a Kuminga, but I don't think he's going to be available at number 7, unfortunately. So at that point, you're probably looking at like Keon Johnson or somebody like that. Just a guy that's extremely young that could be, maybe a few years away from really dominating. And eventually you can go with, you can see Fred VanVleet, Jalen Suggs, like who's more part of the future. Then you have Keon at that shooting guard spot, whatever you really need to do. I mean, the possibilities are endless, right, man? So, yeah, I like that a lot for them. But also at the same time, let's say they do this trade, because I'm in the mindset where the number 7 pick's cool and everything, but like Pascal's not like an extremely old player. So for me, for the Raptors to do this, there almost has to be like a second step. Like, I don't think trading Pascal straight up, James Wiseman nice little too, man. So I don't know, man. It's interesting, but yeah, I have another scenario that like let's assume they do this. Then what exactly you're looking at? So I do think it would be a little interesting if they were to package that number 4 pick. Just be all in on Fred VanVleet as the point guard, and you also have that number 7 to draft like that new shooting guard of the team. So you package that number 4, maybe a future first round pick, and you take on Kevin Love and the 3rd pick of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The reason I like this, and man, I'm even like a little hesitant on tossing in that future first, because from the Cavaliers standpoint, I mean, this is going to be a salary dump that's getting off Kevin Love's contract. But for the Raptors, you get some rebounding, you get a guy that's a veteran out there, championship contender type of player in Kevin Love. But also you still get that number 3 pick, and you go for one of the big 3, assuming who's there. Have that be Cade, Evan Mobley, or Jalen Green. Jalen Suggs is cool and everything, but I will say, if the Raptors end up with Jalen Suggs, that's completely fine. But at the same time, I'd much rather get one of those big 3 guys and just have Fred VanVleet at point guard. I feel like that's completely fine. That's kind of what they paid him to be, is like that next point guard for the Raptors team once Kyle Lowry's out of there. Assuming he is. Maybe Kyle Lowry comes back. I don't really know, man. But yes, so at that point you do that, and then what the Cavaliers can do, because there's actually been some talks as of today saying that Colin Sexton is going to be a part of the future. So, let's assume the Houston Rockets take Evan Mobley, then, there's not really a point for taking Jalen Green, because if Colin Sexton's part of your future with Darius Garland, like there's no room for Jalen Green on that team to develop like he should. So then, by trading down in the draft, you get rid of Kevin Love, free up that salary cap, but also you have that number 4 pick. And at that point, it's a little bit more appropriate to probably draft Jonathan Kuminga, who can be a big part of the Cleveland Cavaliers team. So I like that from that standpoint, right, man? So yeah, there's a lot of different possibilities. That's just like a few that I'm kind of thinking of. But regardless, I'll say it again. Let's assume they just do this trade, and you have a team of Suggs, Fred VanVleet, OG, Boucher at the 4 spot, and then James Wiseman at the 5. That's a dangerous ass team, man. Like, that's something I can definitely get behind. So let's talk a little bit more about the Golden State Warriors, because as I stated with the quote in the beginning, they're looking at guys like Pascal Siakam. There's plenty of other guys out there that definitely would take on a package of the number 7 pick and James Wiseman. Obviously there's a lot of trade talks with Ben Simmons, so I don't think that makes complete sense having James Wiseman on the Philadelphia 76ers. As much as I would love to see Ben Simmons play with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, that one doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But one that does kind of make sense, I know Minnesota fans are probably pissed off about hearing this guy's names in trades, but that's going to be Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns, like, I don't know how many different teams he really fits as far as like making a team better. But him being that third option and playing alongside Draymond Green, but also have the Splash Bros for more spacing on the Golden State Warriors, man, so intrigued by that. And, you know, Minnesota, I mean, to end last season, they were actually pretty damn impressive. Like, they were looking they were looking like a real live basketball team. But at the same time, you know, if you don't really trust that as a long-term thing or a team that can win championships, come on, man, that's the goal, win championships. The goal is not to make the playoffs, it's to win championships. Then you look in the direction of James Wiseman, you know, building him up with Anthony Edwards. Maybe eventually you get some sort of like Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton type of thing going over there. You also get that 7th pick in the draft, very deep draft class. So, yeah, maybe at that point you can get one of the forwards because the Timberwolves definitely need a 4. They definitely need a 4 on this team. So, you know, man, there's a few different trade packages out there that the Warriors can look into. I mean, Bradley Beal is going to be another name mentioned, but once again, I don't really like the idea of like the 3-guard lineup on the Golden State Warriors. I think it's a big reason they got rid of D'Lo in the first place. It just mitigates, you know, some of the shot opportunities for some of the other like Splash Bros out there and stuff. So I don't really like that too much, man. But yes, so that's pretty much all we have for today's video. So the idea is Pascal to the Warriors. If you guys like this trade, let me know in the comment section below. Do you feel like Toronto's giving up too much in Pascal? Do you feel like the Warriors are giving up too much in a draft pick and James Wiseman? Let me know all that in the comment section below, man. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, let me know, like, if the Warriors are to pull off some type of trade, is there a better type of trade out there than Pascal? What is it? Let me know, man. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out.